So, Caitlin Clark had a historic outing versus the Seattle Storm in their victory 107 to 110. Caitlin Clark had 45 points and 10 assists in 29 minutes of action. First of all, it's the first 40 and 10 game in WNBA history. Amazing outing. 11 for 18 from the field, 6 for 10 from 3, 17 of 19 from the free throw line. I think I'll start out there. Caitlin Clark has in this season really developed as a driver and as a foul drawer, getting to the free throw line. Because I I know some people hate to hear it, but getting to the free throw line is a skill. And you want to get the easiest opportunities. The easiest opportunities are open layups and free throws. So getting to the free throw line is important. All the best scorers get to the free throw line a lot. She got to there tonight, 17 of 19 from the line. You love to see it. 6 for 10 from 3. Yeah, she had the she had the magnets going, the I don't want to say vintage Caitlin Clark, but it's like everything that you'd expect from a Caitlin Clark game, you saw tonight. Contested and deep triples. She came through in the clutch with some of those triples, man. She had the also really good late game assist to Monique Billings because, of course, Caitlin Clark had it going as a scorer. So it's important to keep them honest with the passing and playmaking as well. And overall, she had some really good mid rangers as well. And the mid range, I think the numbers percentage wise might not be the best because I think early part of the season the mid range for CC was like really not so good. But I think the mid range, she's definitely picked it up in this second half of this early part of the year. And so I just love to see that she's rounding out her game really nicely, developing in areas that I mean are important, especially so in a playoff setting, and she also had the really, really good defensive stop against Flage on that fast break turnover that they had. She got in there, got a strip on the ball, and then it went out off of Flage. Caitlin Clark also had 4 steals and 2 blocks. And that's really all that you want from CC to be competitive, to have moments on the defensive end, because the defense is not, I don't think it's ever going to be at a great level. But to see her competing is what's most important, especially because the Indiana Fever we know that they're not a defensive team. So to just have those moments where you're locking in and make those really big stops are what's most valuable. Also, Kelsey Mitchell had a really good outing with 30 points on 13 of 25 from the field, 3 from 8 from 3. The first quarter, it was amazing. It was crazy. Oh my gosh, frick. I need to get my charger. No! And you also saw several moments in this game. CC found KM on those back cuts, on those cuts to the basket. Yeah, the Storm really just didn't have an answer for that one all night. But Kelsey Mitchell really was great in the first quarter, first half. Second half, it kinda unraveled a bit, both in terms of just the shots that you expect her to make, that you want her to take like every night, going in and out, or just going out. And it's also sometimes if the process was a bit, but still, CC and KM combining for 75 points in an outing is that's crazy. CC and I combined for 45. but, but yeah, you see the Indiana Fever have kind of just been all season they've kind of been perplexing because you think at certain moments they're figuring it out and then they just have like a few moments where you're just like and that's also the ups and downs of a regular season, a 44 game regular season. There are going to be ups and downs, and you see the Indiana Fever, they also had some Caitlin Clark injuries in there because she had the what was it, back stuff, I believe, and then she's been on a minutes restriction for a few games here. So the Indiana Fever have like some moments where you think they're about ready to turn the corner and then they have another setback, and it's like, so it's just been really weird in terms of finding the rhythm for the Fever here. Still though, they got a dub, they got a clutch time dub, and that's what's most important. I also want to talk about the Seattle Storm because now they fall to 6 and 21 on the season. Another clutch time loss. I think the broadcast mentioned they were like what, one of 9 1 for 9 in clutch losses or clutch games. So another loss there. They have the sole possession of the last, the worst seed, the worst team as in the WNBA. I can't talk. And the Connecticut Sun just won their game tonight. So they have 7 wins. The Seattle Storm are the only team in the league with 6 wins, the worst team. And guess what? I think they're happy. Well, the organization is. The players, maybe not so much. The org, oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're loving it. They're loving it. This is a masterful. The Seattle Storm. This is this is a masterful tank, bro. This is ethical tanking at its finest. 1 of 9 in clutch games. That means they're being competitive. That means they're being competitive. They're in the games, and that's also like, one of the maybe tougher things for a tanking team is keeping up team morale because players never want to be on a losing team. They never want to be on a tanking organization. Whether they're young or vets in the league, you heard Natisha Heidemann early in the season be like very frustrated with the losing that was going on because she's been on the Lynx. She was on some of those really good Connecticut Sun teams. You'll get a player like Flage. Flage played for LSU, and I'm not the biggest college basketball guy, but I know that LSU is a really freaking good college team. So Flage's used to winning. Dominique Molonga just came off of the Seattle Storm being in the playoffs last season. Alafam came off of a championship in the league that she played in. So a lot of these players that, especially if they are a lottery pick, are used to winning situations. And so when you're a part of a team that is losing a bunch of games, keeping up team morale can kind of be a tough part of that. But I think one of the encouraging or bright spots that you could see for that is being in these close games. It shows that they are playing above their pay grade and they are capable of doing that. And with that, it shows that, hey, once we develop here, once we get better, once the team gets better as well, they don't want to see us. They don't want to see what we can look like. And so I think that is very encouraging for the Seattle Storm, their organization, their players. And this is a great tank, bro. This is an amazing tank. You see Awa tonight. You see that third quarter. You see those threes she hit, man. She look she looked like Carl Anthony Towns. And all of Fam fans, all of Fam FC, they're so funny because I guess it makes sense that fans of the players that they root for are the hardest on those players because they expect or they hold them to a high level. But you see all of Fam fans compare her to Miles Turner. You see them roasting her rebounding, roasting her turnovers. She also had Fam had 0 turnovers tonight. That's good. She also had was it 2 offensive rebounds? Let me check that. She had 3 offensive rebounds. Yeah, you saw her fighting on the glass tonight as well. So that's good for all of FC's. That's very encouraging signs. You see more reps for Dominique Malonga. Dominique Malonga as a play finisher, as a creator off the dribble. Flage Johnson as a creator off the dribble and playmaking. There's still absolutely room to grow for these players. They are rookies and sophomores, but it's important as a tanking team to get them the development reps that they need. And so, maybe with a better or more veterated point guard that can run an offense and get the ball to these players on at will or in the right spots would be a better thing for them development wise. Because you see early parts of the season, you really saw that these players had to get it out the mud, man. I did not love watching the Seattle Storm offense in the early part of the season. It was rough. Sometimes it's still a bit rough, but I'm happy to see that they found a bit more of their stride. And also defensively, you see the potential there. You see Flage as an on-ball defender. She's got a lot of moments in spurts where you're just like, I see she can make an all defensive team in the future. Dominique Malonga, the defense is kind of uh, I don't know, but she's got the tools. She's got the tools. Awa, I also think, has the tools and a solid instincts you could see her chipping in defensively as well. I think this could be a really good trio, both offensively and defensively. But yeah, that was a great game. oh my gosh. Also, anything else? Oh yeah, Bree Jones came back for the Atlanta Dream, and I still have to watch more of that Dream game, but the opportunities that having Bree Jones back opened up, just the open looks that came out because once Bree Jones got it like on the on the block, like deep post position, she was swarmed with bodies around her, and it's just like, wow. I in her first game back, this is the type of attention she's grabbing in her first game back. That was not what I expected to see, and so of course, there's been some problems with the Atlanta Dream offense, and there's been a lot of questions about that. And Bree Jones won't solve absolutely every single problem that the Atlanta Dream have. But if this is the type of attention, if this is what she's going to bring to for the Atlanta Dream, the type of attention that she's going to get, and it's probably gonna change, team to team because game planning and whatnot. But hey, also the screenings. Oh, we know Bree Jones screening is really good, but and hey man, this week is good, bro. This week is awesome. I love this week.